Sooner Nation, welcome back to the Sooner Surge. And another one signed, sealed, and delivered. This time coming from the trenches, offensive line, Joshua Aisosa. And 6'3", 305. A lot of opportunity with him, a lot of upside, especially, I think. A guy that at Edmond Santa Fe, right in your backyard there from Norman, really helped them improve to have a really good season this year in our high school ranks in OK Preps. And super excited to see what Bill Beatenbow can do with Joshua Aisosa, guys.
Yeah, Joshua Aisosa isn't the highest rated guy out there. He's a 3-star, but top 15 player in the state of Oklahoma. And the fact that Beatenbow is able to get a guy like this to where you're not expected to play year one, maybe even not even year two. So a few years of development, it's going to work out. It's a massive get for Beatenbow. Local guy, Edmond Santa Fe. That's a high school that OU usually does not do well recruiting there. There was two big-time Oklahoma State players over the past few years, past 15 years or so, that came out of there, and Brandon Whedon and then Trace Ford as well, both from Edmond Santa Fe. So for OU to be able to land Josh Aisosa as well as his teammate Virgin Kaiser is massive. And I watched them against Norman North this year, kind of the Timberwolf rivalry. Both are Wolves or something like that for that game. And Josh Aisosa was really impressive, had quite a few pancakes in that game, was able to get to the next level very quickly, even as a tackle. I think he played a little bit of guard at times for them as well, and get to the next level and pancake some linebackers as well. So you can really see his athletic ability on tape.
That's right. And I would maybe call this officially him being signed more of like a Bill Beatenbow special, in which he's someone that's super underlooked, someone that maybe isn't highly as valued as a lot of the other guys. But having the chance to learn from Bill Beatenbow, we could see Bill Beatenbow take him from a guy that is a 3-star prospect. Well, I'm not sure exactly how many offers he had. I'd say probably a maximum of 15. I don't think he was very.
It was about 15 or so, 15 to 20.
Yeah, and just like I feel like he was super underlooked, obviously because he's kind of a late riser in the process and everything. Played at Edmond Santa Fe, which maybe isn't the most big brand of football, but he's someone that I think Bill Beatenbow could turn into a potential NFL guy. And as Hunter said, he's really physical. He can lay down the blocks. He's someone that, as Hunter said, is probably going to take some time to develop. But as I've said, him under Bill Beatenbow, he has a chance, I think, to turn into a really solid player and someone out of Oklahoma that, once again, Oklahoma under the previous staff, and maybe even at certain times within the last 10 to 15 years, has struggled to get guys from OK Preps. So now being able to get these guys that have the chance that actually want to play for Oklahoma, it's going to make them probably even want to work harder to become great.
Well, and you mentioned, I like what you said about Bill Beatenbow's special. He's taken a lot of guys that are 3 stars and just really turned them into great players. But he did play at Edmond Santa Fe, who played the big boys. They played Jinx. They played the big boys, and he held his own. And so he's faced good competition. That's a feather in the cap. He hasn't played, just very small school, and he's played with some really good players. Another thing about Josh Aisosa, he wrestles, and that matters to me a lot. As far as you see a lot of guys that play multi-sport, it really helps. I know a lot of people narrow down to one sport, but I'm a believer and I'm a fan of the ones that play 2 sports. I think it really does help, especially wrestling, quickness with your hands, quickness with your feet, all that stuff, leverage, balance, all that stuff. I think is going to help him in the long run, and I think that's going to really help him at Oklahoma. And a guy, I do agree with you, Jackson, Bill Beatenbow in the next couple of years can have a great. I think he's probably going to play tackle. I think he can have a great tackle. And another good thing is with what they lost this year on the O-line, they have a lot of youngsters already there that are freshmen or sophomores that are going to be playing, and you really have a few years you can develop and really get him ready.
Yeah, you mentioned he's in the big boy of high school football, 6A1, and Edmond Santa Fe a year ago, they only won 1 game, which they should have won a lot more. They lost, I believe their largest margin of defeat last season was like 10 points. They were in every single game. They could not finish. This season, that was not the case. They week 1 go to Jinx, pull off the upset, one of the biggest upsets of the season, and made the playoffs. And they didn't make it far into the playoffs, but they were able to flip the script from a 1-win season to a playoff team, which is a huge accomplishment for them. And another hat in the cap for Josh Aisosa is he was district offensive player of the year. So that's big time thing. I'm not 100% sure on how the districts work because it's a conference I've never heard of. COAC, I think Central Oklahoma Athletic Conference, if I had to take any guesses. So not 100% sure on what teams are in there, but that's a big time accomplishment for him to land those honors, especially as an offensive lineman when a lot of times it's hard to get big time honors like that.
That's right. And I found that he has 12 official offers according to 24/7 Sports. His second best offer is from Missouri, it looks like, and his third best offer is from UNLV or Iowa State, I would say. So, just someone that, as I've said, was underlooked. And I would not be shocked if he's someone that, like whenever we see Oklahoma year 2, year 3 in the SEC start to take off, that we see Josh Aisosa being a major contributor along the offensive line.
Yeah, I think really what kind of hurt him in the recruiting process is where he played, and then also lack of camps. But when he did show up to the camps, you can watch him on YouTube. He looked really good. He looked like, yeah, it's an unfinished product. I'm not saying anywhere that everything has been put together for him yet. He still has a way to go, but if you watch him in his drills, watch him play live, you can see, okay, this guy, he has some things that you need to be a really good offensive lineman at a big time school like Oklahoma. So it's going to take some time. But again, Bill Bedenbaugh develops better than arguably anybody. I would argue that he develops better than any other position coach in the country when you just look at what he's able to do. I mean, Wanya Morris is starting for the Chiefs right now. Like, it's just all the top offensive linemen in the NFL. They played at OU, and most of them played under Bill Bedenbaugh.
Well, and you're right. And the thing about Bill Bedenbaugh, you talk about development and stuff, but go ask any NFL coach when they get an offensive lineman and who they want him to be coached by, as far as how far along they are, how they practice, how they block, all the basics, all the fundamentals. And I guarantee you, almost all of them would say, if he's coached by Bill Bedenbaugh, he's ahead of the game or going to be in great shape. Every one of them will say it. He's so well respected, and that's honestly, if you're an offensive lineman and you're coming to OU, that's probably one of the main reasons. Other than obviously OU's a blue blood, but you got Bill Bedenbaugh going to coach you. I mean, who wouldn't want that if you're looking to be an NFL player at the O-line? So another great one here. Going to be a great one, I think, Joshua Aisosa in a few years. So congratulations on your commitment. You're signed, sealed, and delivered at OU, and we just can't wait to watch you at the Palace on the Prairie. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. We'll be dropping content on the daily. Till next time, Boomer.
Boomer.